Smoker and welcome to my channel. On this video we're gonna learn how to make this wine barrel or a whiskey barrel. I'm going to show you two options, standing up or into a structure. It's super easy. I'm gonna make this a lot of fun with lots of tips and tricks for you to recreate this cake. You don't even require airbrush. I wanted to say thank you so much for your support and all the beautiful messages I've been receiving. So please don't forget to like, leave your comment and share my videos. Enjoy the video. Cheers! Alright, the first step for the construction of this cake is choosing your tap. So there's a lot of taps on the market now, lots of different sizes, different colors. So you just have to choose your tap. You can buy online on eBay, on Wish, Amazon, or you can go to your favorite hardware store. In here we have Bunnings, if it helps to home. I ended up getting a whole drink dispenser from Kmart because it was the same price as getting a tap online. And I have Kmart's in here every corner, so I ended up getting a whole drink dispenser and just taking the pieces I need for this cake. You could also use the tap that comes in the wine boxes. When you have your tap, you chose your tap and you're happy with what you got, it's time to choose your container. And I'm going to plastic containers because we need to make a hole so your tap can go inside, and these little plastic containers is really easy to make the hole inside. As you can see in here, I'm demonstrating. I just got a metal cutter, I warm up on a stove and insert it on my plastic container. As long as this food's safe and you are able to put your hands inside. As long as your hands can go inside the container is perfect. And I'm saying that because you're gonna have to insert this tap inside the container and you're gonna have to screw. So you put all the connections back inside the container and then you screw. So your hands have to be able to go inside the container so you can screw your tap. So you really have to make sure that this is really tight, as tight as you can possibly do, no leakage. So make sure to put the water inside to test. Maybe if you leave overnight just to make sure nothing is leaking, because after you make your cake, it's the last thing you want is to have any leaking on the container. So as you can see, it's super easy. So when you put your lid, this is another tricky, another tip I wanted to give it to you, is when you put your tip, what's happening is you're gonna trap the air inside. So basically you're not going to get any liquid coming out. So it's very important to make a hole on the lid and insert a straw that is gonna go all the way up on your cake. 12 floods is perfect because this is a whisk barrel, and a whisk barrel always have the air at the top, the air trap thing. So this is perfect for us. So as you can see here, because I have the air, the liquid comes out, but without, the liquid will not come. So this is a big tip I have to give it to you, is make sure to put a straw on your lid. This is also a very good tip if you wanted to put more liquid inside of the cake. You can just, with a syringe, you can go through the top and insert more liquid through the straw. So the straw not only is helping release the air, but she will also help you if you wanted to put more liquid inside your cake. So When you have your tap and we are happy, we already have the container to put the liquid. In this case, we're gonna put a whiskey because it's a whiskey barrel. It's for a 50th birthday, and that's what they ask you. But you can put any liquid. You can put wine, you can put a rum, brandy, port. So for this extractor, this is a very simple extractor. So if you look at this barrel in here, it has these two woods in here parallel, and only because it's staining on and on. So I just because I'm using the board, I modify a little bit my template so I don't have to have the woods on the side. So that was my template, and the template will be available on my website. And so I just traced the template into a MDF 9 millimeters, a good thickness, and it will be super strong. And then I got two structures. I always pre-drill at the bottom of my MDF, and then I will put it in position where I wanna. Of course, like always, I pre-drill the board so I can see from the other side where I'm going to screw. So I always take a little bit out so the screw head can go inside. So the reason why I do this is so the screw head goes inside the wood and it doesn't scratch any surface. So if you are giving this cake to a client, it's very important that nothing underneath of the board could scratch. I'm also going to cover this board with contact paper. I really love contact paper. The reason why I love contact paper or vinyl paper is because it's cheap and it's super easy to clean, because we still gonna build this cake, so ganache could go on the board, and by having contact paper it's super easy to clean your board. I've been telling about this for years now, and it's still my go-to, and you can get online or any store contact paper. Now in here you do have a couple of options. You can just turn your contact paper to the bottom of your board, so then you cover the sides at the same time as you are covering the board. Or you can just cut off exactly the size of your board and put ribbon around. So I still like the ribbon around because it's more elegant. So it's up to you how you want it to do. I'm just gonna go with ribbon around just to give a more elegant look to our board. But I like to put a little bit of hot glue. It's not really necessary, but I do like to put a little bit of a hot glue on my structure, just to make sure it stays in position nice and tight. And it's really, it makes easy to put the screw on the other side when you lift the board. So then we have a really nice, strong structure that will support the weight of a cake, and I can guarantee it will go nowhere. But for the structure of our cake now, because it's a round shape, and I can't just put a cake in here because it will fall. I need something to support the weight of this cake in here position. So I just got a styrofoam, it's a 6-inch styrofoam, and I'm going to cut the bottoms of this styrofoam. So then you're gonna end up with two sides like that. Alright? And what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna hot glue then side by side like that. So what this will create is a base for my cake, so I can build my cake from the top up. So just gonna glue these two parts together, and I'm gonna insert some wood skewer so to make it even more strong. And you can use the styrofoam glue too if you prefer, because sometimes if the glue is too hot it can melt, so it's a good idea for the hot glue not to be too hot. And then I'm going to put a cake board at the top there. So to make sure that this container is going to stay nice and tight on a position, I'm going to carve a little bit of the styrofoam and cut this board. This is also going to give me a more perfect height for this container, because at the moment it's a little bit too high and I need to be a little bit, the top to be a little bit lower. So I'm going to cut the cake board and carve a little bit of the styrofoam, and then start building my cake. So for the structure is very simple. I'm just gonna hot glue my styrofoam to the legs. So a little bit of glue in each leg. Put your styrofoam in position to what is also the base of your cake. And then I'm going to hot glue the board. Now we have our structure ready here, nice and firm, and then we're going to the cake. I usually work with 10 inches. I bake a lot of 10 inches and I always have the 10 inch on the refrigerator ready to go, because it's an easy size to do most of my cakes. In fact, if you buy my book, you're gonna see that I use a 10-inch cake for almost all the creations I have on my book. So we're gonna cut on the middle this cake, and now I'm going to start stuck on my structure. For my process of thinking was that the front will be a 6-inch, but as you can see, a barrel on the middle of the barrel is a little bit bigger than the front and the back. So when I'm carving this cake, I'm going to use a 6-inch as a guideline, but I'm going to leave it a little bit bigger on the sides of the cake. So by getting two boards together and you put one side by side like that, it will help you a lot with the carving of this cake. So I have the other videos in here, you just have to scroll down. Recipes and chips and ganache, buttercream, so everything is online. For this cake I'm using 3x1 ratio for my ganache, and I'm going to stack this cake all the way to the top, and then I'm gonna carve little by little using my two 10 plates, my two 6-inch round boards, one in the front, one on the bottom as my guideline. And I'm going to use the knife in an angle so we can create the barrel look. As you can see, on the middle of the barrel is a little bit more round, a little bit bigger. So, and after I carve, I will ganache and refrigerate, and then I will cut the space where my container will go. I always like to ganache inside to seal really well inside, and then I will ganache again and refrigerate. And you're gonna see a really good trick in here to get the really nice sharp edges for the barrel. Is after the cake is nice and cool and the ganache is hard, I usually cut with a stainless knife or a really sharp knife, and you end up with the really nice sharp edges for your barrel. This is a trick we use for cakes, and it really speeds the process, and you ended up a really nice canvas. So for my cake standing up, the structure is super easy. I'm just putting a styrofoam bottle to this cake because I wanted this glass to be high enough. So I need something actually so I can put a little cup underneath to pick it up. So if it's too low and then you can't even put a glass, it defeats the purpose, right? So that's why I'm putting on top of a styrofoam. But of course you could use Rice Krispies, or you could have it as cake, a whole thing in cake. You're gonna see with the cake is staining up. I use the same process. In fact, the cake is staining up is even better because you don't have the gravity, and you don't have one of the sides. So it's even more quick. And then it's only a matter of decorating with fondant. I'm going to use some of these impression mats that I have, some plastic impression mats. I'm coloring my fondant using a little bit of brown, a little bit of yellow to get a really nice look of the wood. And then I'm going to paint this fondant. paint this fondant just with a brush. I mix a little bit of caramel with yellow to get that tone of varnish that I wanna to achieve, and I put a lot of vodka. You could put lemon juice if you want, but I really prefer the vodka because the vodka dries super quick and giving me the nice shine too on the cake. So you could even mix a little bit the glucose if you want to the vodka and the food color, and you get a nice shine on your barrel. So just a note in here, if you wanted to make the berry staining up, it just with a 6-inch cake, it's perfect fine too. You just stack a couple of 6-inch cakes, one on top of the other, cut the space where you're gonna put your container, and then add the piece missing at the top and ganache. It's super easy, and for decoration it's even more easy because you don't have the structure, you're not going against gravity, and you actually don't have one of the sides, so it's super quick and easy. It's the same process, and I'm using exactly the same tools and the impression mats. I really hope that you enjoyed my video, that I could give to you some new tips and new tricks for your next creation. Don't forget to hashtag me. I really love to see when you recreate one of the cakes that you're watching here on my YouTube channel. Also, don't forget to share. Leave your comment and your feedback. What you would like to see next? Or did you enjoy this video? I will be in Brisbane in 2 weeks' time for the Cake International show, and I really hope you can come. I will be there on stage. I will have classes. I have my own stand with all my cake structures, my book, and some of my new line of products. So I really hope to see you there. Thank you so much.